How's it going, everyone? Going to talk to you today about how to pass your CDL permit test and also what all you need to study to pass it and where to get information and other things to help you along the way. So here we go. Alright, so first thing you want to do is figure out where you're taking your test at. So if you're going off to a trucking school, let's say Prime, and you're going to Springfield, Missouri to test out or to get your CDL, you need to study the Missouri CDL Handbook. If you're going to your local trucking school or wherever else, you need to make sure you're studying that state's CDL Handbook. Once you have that all figured out, I'll show you here. We're going to go over to the wonderful Google. Alright, so here we are on wonderful, powerful machine called Google. I've already searched Missouri CDL Handbook. What you want to go to is this first one right here. It's a PDF file for you. All you gotta do is click it and it pulls it up. I'll make this a little bit bigger for you guys. It's not that big. Downsize a little bit here. There we go. So here's the whole Missouri CDL Handbook. I'm going to go over which sections you need to study, so let's go on down a little bit here to your tables of contents. Section 1 is your introduction. I'll show you, go break it down real quick. Driver. Section 2 is driver safety. You need to read all of that. Section 3 is transporting cargo safety. Got to study all that. Part 2, Section 4, transporting passengers safely. Don't have to worry about studying the passenger section. Section 5, air brakes, you will have to study. Section 6, on combination vehicles, you will have to study. Section 7, doubles and triples, you do not have to study for Prime. Section 8, tank vehicles, you will have to study that one. Just a quick heads up on that one, even if you are a reefer driver, you got to take your tanker endorsement test, because we sometimes haul totes that require you to have your tanker endorsement. Totes are big ass plastic bins of liquid, and they changed the laws recently. Even though they are in a reefer trailer or dry van trailer, you still have to have your tanker endorsement in order to haul them. So that's why they require your tanker endorsement. Moving on. Section 9, hazardous materials. Do not have to get it. They may push later on after you get your CDL and get onto your own truck to get your hazmat, but we are just talking about right now to get your permit. Do not worry about studying for hazmat. Part 3, school buses. Do not have to study. Section 11, pre-trip. Definitely have to study, except for the sections that do not apply, which is school bus only and coach transit bus. And then it even gives you information about your test that you will have to take. And then section 12, basic vehicle control tests, scoring, exercises. So if you actually take the time and read through all of this, it will pretty much guarantee that you're going to pass. It's all the information you're going to need. So if we go down here to page 6, that'll show you too what sections you need to study. So you're going for your Class A, so it's section 1, 2, 3, 5 is starred because it's to operate vehicles equipped with air brakes. All our trucks got air brakes, our trailers are air brakes, so you have to study that section. Section 6, section 11, 12, and 13. And then you go over to your endorsement section. Don't have to do school bus, do not need passenger, you need tank. So you need to study section 2, 6, 8, and 9 for your tanker endorsement. Don't have to worry about double triples, and again, yeah. That weird dark line's throwing me off. Hazardous materials, just section 9. So you don't have to worry about that one. We'll go down here. There's your medical document requirements and how you're supposed to have it on you. difference between interstate and intrastate, CDL disqualifications. You gotta know this if you're gonna become a CDL driver. Even right on here, driving a CMV if your blood alcohol content is 0.04 or higher. So driving a commercial motor vehicle, your blood alcohol level has to be even lower than what a car. So we don't go by the same rules. We're refusing to undergo a blood alcohol test. Lots of good information to be reading on what can cause you to lose your CDL. So go through. I'm trying to get down to a section here. Besides this first, let's kind of skip down. Go through. Cargo safety. That'll be a fun section. Pretty much what you're going to be wanting to pay attention to is everything that's bold, and like this section. If it's like quoted off in all bold, you really want to be paying attention to that. Let's go down here a little bit further. Even shows you proper way of cargo loading, balance the weight, and the best thing to do is, here's your test your knowledge. Go through these questions, even if you have to rewrite these out on a separate paper or highlight them and then click them over and copy and paste over to Word and put it out into and print out your own test like you're back in high school. Highlight all those, give yourself space in between each question to write out the answers, and make yourself 10 copies. So that way, if you mess up, you can go back through them like, all right, hey, I missed 2 of these. So when I go move on to section 4, or whichever section's next that you got to do, I can go through and then come back afterwards and retest myself. The best advice I can give you on how to pass your test is repetition, repetition, and repetition. You're going to start noticing stuff that passenger safety, we don't have to worry about that. You're going to start noticing the stuff that repeats itself. Try and get down here to air brakes. A lot of people have problems with the air brake section. If you don't understand mechanics and that you never really worked on a vehicle, pay extra careful attention to this section. So let's go down here to application, spring brakes. Well, pressure warning. System drops below 60 psi. Trying to find some more stuff here real quick for you to show you guys. Like this diagram's kind of a little confusing if you're not used to looking at them. But it's the basic setup for how air brake service is worked. There's your glad hands. The airlines go back into the quick release valve, into your brake chamber. And the brake chamber either expands the brake lining or it contracts the brake calipers. Depends on if you either have drums or rotors on your trailer. And you have an air tank reservoir back there too. So again, each section, even the first section here, has a little test. Select that off, put that over to Microsoft Word and print yourself off a test. Or if you want to put them all together, scramble them all up. That way you get used to not everything in order. If you do that and you actually separate all these questions out, and you put in that effort and time and work ethic that it's going to take to study and understand all those questions and get them correct 100% of the time, you will pass your CDL permit test. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to go over to a screen grab of my phone. I have an Android phone, so that way it can show you on the Google Play Store what type of apps are out there, and the one I was just messing around with. So we'll switch over to that here real quick. Alright, just to show you guys real quick, if you go to the Google Play Store, of course I have Android, so your Apple Store is going to be a little bit different. But all you gotta do is type in CDL practice test. I've already got this one installed. I'll take you to that one in a second, but if you scroll down, there is a whole bunch of CDL practice test apps, everything from paid for to free, to help you practice. Here's even all different states. So after to do along with reading your CDL handbook, here's all the different practice apps you can get, so to make sure that you're ready to test. So I'll take you to the one I have. It's CDL Practice Test 2019 edition. I just was in it messing around with it. So there's your general knowledge. You don't have to worry about hazmat. You don't have to worry about passenger. You need air brake combination. Don't need doubles, triples. You'll need to do tanker, skip your school bus, and you need to do your pre-trip. And even have a test simulator. So again, there's a lot of great apps to go out there along with the handbook. So I just want to show you guys that real quick. Alright, so that was the apps that you can get on your phone, at least through the Google Store. I don't have an iPhone, so I don't have what the difference is between the Google Store and the the Apple Store, what the difference is, but it's pretty much going to have a lot of the same apps. So that's what to look for on the apps. Again, it's just repetition, 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 repetition. Pay key attention to the keywords like not, at, or below, or above. Stuff like that, where if a word is separate and bold, that's a word you're going to have to pay key attention to. So go through with those apps. Don't just study the questions in the apps. It's not going to benefit you in the long run. You need to also study your CDL handbook, because that has a lot of the general information that you're going to need on how to be successful as a truck driver. So it'll help you keep out of trouble, understand the basics of everything you got to do, and also it'll explain to you, if you have whatever state you are testing in's actual CDL handbook, it's going to help explain to you what they're going to be looking for on your road test. So the two main things is just study that handbook, test yourself, and then get an app on your phone, and then that way you can run through the test questions over and over again, so that way you can kind of pick up on what they're talking about on the little things and the main things you need to study. So, and also if you're using the apps and you're constantly, you don't understand why you don't understand the question, or you don't understand why you're getting it wrong, go to that section in your handbook and reread it to find out what the correct answer is going to be. So there's no easy cheat system for this. It's something on you that you got to learn. When you head into a trucking school, I would hope 100% of the time, they're not just going to hand you the answers. It's going to be on to you. If that school just hands you the answers, they're going to eventually get themselves shut down. So be prepared to study your butt off. Like, if you come to Prime and you do not study beforehand for your CDL permit test, and you do not pass by Friday, you'll be sent home. It's just the way it is. They don't have a lot of time to invest in helping you study. You got to start that before you head in. Your recruiter will tell you that to download the CDL handbook and start studying before you head in. So, hope this helps you guys out. some basic information on what to do and how to help you pass your CDL permit test. So talk to you guys later.